Hi, my name's Paul Papadonis, and I am a local art educator, artist, and local surfer. I have surfed for many years, and I really have an affinity for making art and surfing. So what I would like to do with you today is to show you how to make fins, painted fins, that actually go into surfboards. Or if you would like to, you can also find anything around that you have for materials, any surface that you have, such as paper, poster board, or scrap wood, and you can paint your surf art on scrap wood. This is meant for people of all ages, and I'm going to take you through the process step by step to show you how to make some surf art that you would be proud of and engage with. The following fins that you are about to see, I completed over the last 2 years. People would give me a theme and I would sort of run with it. I hope you enjoy them. The materials needed to make your custom fin are as follows: a pencil, Sharpie permanent marker, small scrap paper for sketching ideas about 2.5 inches by 4 inches in size, crystal clear acrylic spray coating, spray primer, fine sandpaper or steel wool, acrylic paints, any quality work will work great, a fin, electronic device with internet connection will help for ideas. If you don't have access to a surfboard or a stand-up paddleboard fin, you can make your artwork on any surface. For example, paper, poster board, wood, and then you can cut it out in the shape of a fin using poster paint, acrylic paint, or markers. Good luck. The first and perhaps the most important part of your surf art project is making a thumbnail sketch or multiple thumbnail sketches. I strongly recommend that you take the 10 or 15 minutes that it takes to make one of these because it's an important part of the process. Think of these sketches as a way of bringing out your ideas from your mind onto a piece of paper. As you can see, my sketches are pretty quick and rough. However, I need to do this to be the start of my journey to a finished piece. Every fin that I have shared with you previously started with one of these sketches. This one will be no exception. I'm creating a slightly rough texture on both sides of the fin using a fine piece of sandpaper and or steel wool. Sand for about a minute. Your next step is to spray both sides of the fin with spray primer. Use a thin coat. Notice that the bottom of the fin is taped off in case you're going to insert that into a real surfboard. You are finally ready for the best part of this process, painting. Notice that the materials set out here are a palette, big paintbrushes, container of water, paints, and last but not least, a paper towel. Be sure you have everything on this list set out before you start. If you are working a real fin, then you should use acrylic paint. You may use poster paint or markers on other painted surfaces. Good luck. The first step on working on this in all of my pieces is a watercolor technique called wet on wet. Yes, you may use acrylic paints like watercolors as long as you let it dry completely. I'd like to use a layering method in all of my work. So consider this the first layer out of possibly 3 to 5 layers for your fin. So we'll get started with this wet on wet technique. First thing I'm going to do, you'll see, is I'm taking clean water out of a container, or fairly clean water, and I'm really just spreading it, the water or the semi-clean water, out on the fin. Okay? It's almost like a stain. And then I'm going to take color out of my palette that's kind of watered down already. You can see this is kind of watered down. Just very much like a watercolor wash. And then I'm going to apply it onto the fin. The paint may repel a little bit and bead up, but that's okay. Beading up is not necessarily a bad thing. And I'm going to use more than one color. I've got sort of a light blue and a dark blue, and I'm applying that really very watered down in different spots. Try not to overwork. Let the paint sort of do things on its own. Let it have a mind of its own. And then at the end, if I want, I can what we call lift blotting. You see I'm blotting with a paper towel, particularly around the turtle, my main object. I'm lifting a lot of that color. And then in a few other places. And I'm just sort of looking for interesting effects, sort of bleeding effects, almost like a tie-dye shirt. And that's pretty much it. This is the second layer of paint out of at least 3 to 5 layers. Notice that I have used the colors of the rainbow. No black, no white, no gray or brown yet. I'm going to save those colors for layers 3, 4, or 5. Also, I have retraced or redefined the black line drawing with a Sharpie after the paint dried. I also added some of the obvious black shapes.
In the previous video clip, I made layers 3 and 4. I worked for the most part with neutral colors like black, brown, and I used white for highlights. I did use bright orange for detailed textures towards the end. Again, I retraced the black lines, thickened some of the lines, and added more details with a Sharpie marker.
Now the artwork is complete. I recommend that you spray the fin with crystal clear. This protects your work and gives it a finished look. Note, crystal clear will only work with acrylic paints or oil paints. I hope you enjoyed this process, and I hope you enjoyed the project as well. Remember that art is about the process. Enjoy it. Hi everyone, before we started making our first piece of surf art, I thought I'd get us into the surf spirit by playing one of my favorite surf tunes. If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody be surfing like California. You'd see them wearing their baggies, Huarache sandals too, bushy blonde hairdo, surfing USA. You catch them surfing at Del Mar, Ventura County line, Santa Cruz and Trestles, Australia's Narrabeen, all over Manhattan and down Doheny Way. Everybody's gone surfing USA. Well, I'll be planning out a route we're gonna take real soon. We're waxing down our surfboards, we can't wait for June. Well, I'll be gone for the summer, we're on safari to stay. Tell the teacher we're surfing USA. At Hagerty's and Swami's, Pacific Palisades, San Onofre and Sunset, Redondo Beach, LA, all over La Jolla, at Waimea Bay. Everybody's gone surfing USA.